Revolution right here on KFNX in Phoenix. The number, if you want to call in, is 602-277-KFNX if you have any questions about cryptocurrencies. And we have a great guest on the line, and we want to talk to her about some of the stuff that she's been doing. She's actually been doing this for several years, I believe 2013. Connie, are you there?
Yes, hello. Thanks for having me.
Hey. Yeah, great to have you. How long have you been doing the BitGive Foundation?
You are correct. Yes, we founded the organization almost exactly 5 years ago in July of 2013.
Oh, awesome. Okay, yeah, I remember seeing you guys at the first Texas Bitcoin conference in Austin on, I think, was it March of 2014, and that there was a whole lot of different charitable stuff that was framed around that conference, and I guess that's when you guys kind of made your debut, or at least one of the conferences there. Can you tell us about some of the great stuff that you guys have been doing? Because, I do a lot with it myself, and you hear so much about what cryptocurrencies are used for that are bad. It's, crime this, drugs that. What do you do with cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of that. Our focus is very different. Our focus from day one has been about leveraging the technology and the currency for nonprofits and for global philanthropy. So, we're actually a nonprofit ourselves, and all of our work has been about supporting other nonprofits, raising funds in Bitcoin, teaching them about blockchain and Bitcoin technology. And now we have a platform that we're building called GiveTrack, which we currently have a minimum viable product out live. And it's about not just crowdfunding for charities in Bitcoin, but also leveraging the transparency of the blockchain. So having donors be able to view on the blockchain their funds moving from one place to another, and then seeing what actually happened with the funds.
Awesome. Yeah, that's one of the other things with Bitcoin is the blockchain and being able to track all of your transactions and prove them and where they went. Sometimes you may not be able to actually prove that went to the proper place, but if you're paying attention to what these organizations are doing, you can actually see the good that they're doing. And I know you guys have done things with wells in Africa. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the projects you've already completed?
Sure. Yeah. So our project in Kenya is our most well-known one, that we raised enough money amongst the Bitcoin community to fund a water well at a girls' school. And it's in a pretty remote area of western Kenya near Lake Victoria. And they put in a well at the school, and it serves over 500 people. So there's a primary school next door, and then the secondary school where the girls' school is, and then the surrounding community. And it's been a huge benefit to the schools and to the community. They were before they had the well, walking very far distances to collect water from the local creek, and it was filthy. So they're carrying it around. They're not spending time in classes, and then they're trying to clean this absolutely filthy water with chlorine tablets. They're boiling it. So it made a big difference to have a well on the school site and to save them time in class, but also it improved, a lot of their health and sanitation as well.
Right. So how did you get into Bitcoin? I mean, did it have anything to do with BitPay, or I know your brother is Pay. Is that how you got into it?
Yeah, but he didn't convince me in any way. But I was essentially exposed to Bitcoin and the technology through him. So he got involved really early on, I think probably in 2011 or something. And I always was really excited about what he was doing. And from my perspective, I immediately saw how this technology could access people in the most remote areas of the world and get them, get funding to them. And that was really what inspired me about Bitcoin. that I never planned on getting involved personally. But then, just a few years later, I went to an event that he was, that BitPay was kind of coming out with their first seed round. And that was when it really hit me what the potential was for not only the technology, but the industry as a whole. And it inspired me to start BitGive and try to capture, the potential and have an entity for giving back, that the industry could, focus on ways to give back through an institution.
And Connie, now I know there's some initiatives, and I don't know if you guys are contributing or any part of this, but talk about some of the in some of the more oppressive countries for women, how they're Code to Inspire, I think, is one project, but it's allowing countries where women are more oppressed. They're not able to have bank accounts. They can have their money stolen from their fathers, brothers, whatever, the males, and for having their own money. And so a lot of them are using Bitcoin to insert themselves into the global economy, or at least into business entrepreneurship, and they're learning to program and code. And are you guys involved in that? I know, I'm sure you guys endorse it and everything, but are you guys involved in that project?
No, I've known Fareshta for quite some time, and have been really supportive of her and what she's doing. And we reached out to, first personally, I did support Code to Inspire when they started their first school, but that was my own personal contribution. But we reached out to her when we launched GiveTrack, because I really wanted Code to Inspire to be one of our first pilot projects, because the idea is to be able to see where the money is going. And in her case, we could, track the donations all the way to the girls in the school. But at the time, they weren't ready to do it. So I actually would like to circle back with her and see if maybe we can open up that conversation again, because I absolutely love what she's doing.
Well, regardless, you guys are working on so many of your own projects. I mean, that's just one example that I was using, but I know that you guys are doing similar things, and you guys have your hands in a lot of empowering projects as well too. So I think that's awesome.
Well, thank you.
Is GiveTrack, is this kind of the project that you're working on to show all of the different things around the world that people are doing with blockchain for charities, or is that a different project?
It's similar, yeah. The idea is that it's a platform where charities can fundraise in Bitcoin, kind of like a crowdfunding site for charities to raise funds in Bitcoin, but it's more than that, in the sense that we're also encouraging them to keep the money in Bitcoin, move it on the blockchain, and then the platform has a way to track that for donors. They can actually see where their money is on the blockchain, not just the kind of really hard to understand aspects of the technical blockchain, but we built like a layer on top of that to show them where their money is going. So it's more engaging. Yeah.
Does this also give the person who looks at this a way of checking out projects that they may be interested in and finding those projects that need funding?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's a lot like, like an Indiegogo kind of thing, where right now we just have one live project because we have it's an MVP. So we're kind of trickling pilots in. But you can go to givetrack.org and see some of the other projects that we've already funded, and then we should have some more new ones coming online as well really soon. And so you can choose something you want to support, make a contribution, and then you can track your money. They won't move the money until they reach their goal, and then they'll start moving the money to implement the project. So You'll be able to see that and also see results. There's a reporting side where they report on status and share pictures and things like that.
Yeah, I think accountability is so important to that particular industry and just charities. The legacy.
Another aspect that's really cool about this is, during the hurricane last year, I was able to just dart right into the hurricane, and the funds were sent to me while we were still on air doing a radio show. And that night,
Wow.
we headed to the storm with that money, and I was able to get it onto my Shift card and buy the things that I needed from Walmart on the way there just that fast.
And Danny, how much of that did you have to spend on overhead? So say only 10% went to the people. How much of it went to the actual people?
So there you have it. That's another aspect, just the speed of it.
Yep.